Thank you, Veronica. So, good morning to everyone. I am Judith Torres from CESEFOR, and welcome to the kickoff meeting of this Erasmus Plus project. Can you see it?
Yes, it's perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So this Erasmus Plus project is its name is Tools in Ecologic Nature Farm Cultural and Gastronomic Tourism in Rural Areas. It's a key A210 vocational education and training call, small-scale partnerships in vocational educational and training, and it lasts 2 years, since the 1st of September of the last year of the 2022 to the 1st of September of the 2024. The total lump sum, the total budget of this project is 60,000 euros. Maybe I can give the floor to you, Veronica, because you are the coordinator of this. We, CESEFOR, are the coordinators of the project, but you are the leader of this activity, which is the kickoff meeting. So please.
Thank you very much, Judith. Yes, maybe before we start, I give a short overview what we planned today. At the beginning, I will give you a short introduction to the project. Then we have planned that we make a self-presentation of each partner. And as you can see, we will record this meeting and we can use the presentations of all organizations for our mini website, which will be developed so that we already have some presentations of our partners as well. Then we are pleased that Ernestine will give an overview of the state of the art on rural tourism. And after this, we will look in detail into the activities we have to do in our project. Yes. And then we have time to discuss the next steps and if there are any questions and everything which is open. But let us go back to the project. Rural tourism is a really important part in all our countries. It can be a additional possibility to earn money from farmers, especially for regions where there is less income. And within our project, we try to collect good practice examples in countries which have a big potential for rural tourism in extensive livestock farming and other natural values. And to get a good overview, at the first of the step, we try to analyze the situation. What are the situations in our partner countries? And with the look with the view out of digital tools in this sector. Of course, in this project, in this small scale project, it's important to exchange experiences and to have a look what all the other partner countries are doing. And as it's the meaning of a lot of different small scale projects, we want to have a view if it would make sense to apply for a bigger project, for a CAR2 project in the future. So our project now can be the start for a bigger one. And yeah, I think that's so the most important of our project. At the next step, we will start with the presentation of each partners. Or maybe to ask before, are there any questions? Do you want to add something?
I think you have explained it very good.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Okay, so then let's go to the self-presentations of partners. We want to know a little bit more. What's your impact? What's your opinions? Why are you part in this project? And what's your meaning? Why what's your connection to rural tourism and environmental education and digitalization? And I think we can start in the order as we have seen it here. And I could start to share my presentation.
I need to stop sharing.
Yeah, please stop it so that we can.
That's right.
So I will share my screen. So I hope you can see it. I'm coming from the University College of Agrarian and Environmental Pedagogy in Vienna. That means that we are one of 13 universities which are responsible to educate young students who want to be teachers. And our special field is that we don't work for normal schools, but we work only for schools which are in the field of agriculture and especially in the field of environmental. So we have 4 working fields. On the one hand, we have training and study programs. Then we have a research and competence center where we deal together with rural tourism, with rural development, but also with the fields of green pedagogy and so on. And then we have one part, that's the part where I'm working mainly, that we are partnering organization in different projects, always in the connection between the professional field of agriculture, of environmental, combined with the field of pedagogy and communication. And then we have a 4th column, and that's that we are responsible for all the continuing education for teachers, for multipliers, for nature guides, and so on. So that's our main tasks we are doing. And for the study programs, we have the agrarian pedagogy and the environmental pedagogy. And for us, diversification is a really, really important stuff. In Austria, the infrastructure is in this way that in the rural areas, we have small farms, we have areas in the mountains, in some fields where it's not so easy to produce, like in countries where they have really big farms. And therefore, the part of diversification, the part of rural development, the part of rural tourism is really, really important in Austria. So we have, for example, many farms who add additional holiday for farms so that tourists can come to the farms, can be in the countryside, live on the farms and not in small, big hotels and restaurants. So that's a sustainable way of tourism, which is really important here. And then we have the field of environmental pedagogy. So our students can work in vocational schools, but also work as consultants, as educational managers, and so on. And the continuing education is one of the parts which are really important for us. And the target group is really, really broad. So even nature guides, which belongs to the which helps the tourism, the rural tourism very much, is one of our main target groups. Yes, I think that's not so important, but what's really important for this project is that we are also the umbrella organization for all nature guides in Austria. So that means that multipliers who work with tourists, for example, in the field of landscape interpretation, forest education, herbal education, farm education, or even national park rangers. So all the people who goes to ask to find tourists, to bring them to the countrysides and to explain something about the field of sustainability, the field of nature, the field of agriculture. And what's our part in the field of digitalization? That's one area which we are really interested in. And for example, we had a big conference in 2021. It was about nature education, rural tourism, digital and analog. How can we work together? How can we implement digital tools within this working field. And at the moment, we are working on a MOOC, on a massive online open course to the topic of how can we use digitalization in the field of learning outside in the areas. What tools can we use inside? Yes, and our vision is we want to design a sustainable future together with all of us in Austria. Do you have any questions about it?
Thank you, Veronica. Very interesting.
Yes. I think we have enough time. Some of our partners we already know, but I think we can continue with the next presentation. And therefore, I ask the Lizov Museum to give your expertise.
Veronica, can you hear me?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. We can start then. Just share my screen.
Jakob, maybe I think we hear something in the background.
Can you hear me now better?
Yes, but maybe you can switch off on your second computer.
Oh, okay.
Because we have a double sound.
What about now? Is it better?
I think so, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can start.
No, there's still...
It's very noisy in the background.
I'm on the way back home, so I'm now in the Barcelona in a coffee shop.
Okay.
So soon going to the airport.
Okay.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Jakub from Slovakia. I'm director and co-founder of the organization LANZAMIENTO Museum, which is the NGO. With our journey, we started in a small village called LANZAMIENTO in 2015, and the reason why we decided to start it there is also that I came from there, and the reason got the issue with the populations, and a lot of people left from there, and there was not many opportunities for jobs. So we decided to create the museum, and since now we go to 4 parts there. The first part is a traditional house from 1916. Then we got the replica of the Celtic roundhouse. Then we got the mass gallery. We run also a shop with the local products. And now this December, we open also a small information center, which works also as a coffee shop, and it's a house from 1887. So here you can see where we are situated. We are situated in the south center part of Slovakia in the region of Pont.
Jakub, sorry, we see your first slide. We can't see that you changed it.
Now, can you see it better?
No, we still see the starting slide. Yes, now it's okay.
This is better?
Yeah, now it's the starting slide again, but we could see the third one. Now we see the museum complex. Yeah, yes.
Okay, better now. So we focus on the activity focus on tourism, coming partners from all the Europe, also the local people, and trying to the tourism, bring some new people into the region, and also for the rural development. Activities is running course Erasmus scheme, parties, and we focus on traditional and so some of them, for example, skid make, weaving with the looms, keeping, and also when we did the restoration, we use traditional and skills. We work together with local people, but also with the people in different countries, and here the process of what we
from 1916. May I interrupt you? Maybe can you try to switch off the video because the connection is quite bad. It's hard to understand you.
Okay. Do that. What about better?
Let's see. At the moment, yes.
Let's see. So you can see from our process, and also we as organization have organizing also some different events, and also, for example, focusing how to use the animals in the forest, especially the horse logging. So there's also another activity. And regarding that, we help to organize also a competition where we are using these horses for different events, which bring also more people into the area, especially the tourists who can come to the event and see what's going on. And the second part of the museum, as I mentioned, was the replica of the Celtic Roundhouse, and we built it in 2016, 2017, and it represents the Celtic life in Europe. Here you can see some process of the developing this place. Over here as well. And then it was also important that we try to keep the tradition into the village. So we did several movies about the traditionals in the area, in the village. Then we did also a movie about the burning Morena, which is a Slavic god of winter and death, and we record that. So that's also how we try to more attract the area through the digitalization that bring this traditionals into the computer, into the Instagram and Facebook, the people to see what's going on, what was the past. You can see some photos from the recording. Then what we also work is work with the textiles, because the region is very rich for the traditional textiles. We try to bring them back to lives and use them in a modern way, and it's also a bit of an added value that when people come here, especially the tourists, they can buy it and bring some small income into the region. And we work also with the recycling, so recycling fashion. The village used to be in the past very famous for stonemason, so there's also an activity we try to bring this craft back to life. It was also interesting in the area situated cave house, total 200 cave houses, which are in the hill created by the volcano. Then the last, the most important, our organization gallery, the only one in Slovakia, they were in Europe. And we got there around 400 masks all over. Also, it's very important driver of the region because it's that people know already that. So I'll see a good progress when we start 2015. That now we go, so we can also hire more people. We are getting visitors. We are happy that it is slowly growing. We opened this place for a public in July 2017. You can see some photos from the opening ceremony. And then from inside. And also what we suggest is very important, especially for the rural areas, to bring some economy, to run some shop with the local products. So we are happy that network of our producer is slowly growing, and we are able to bring more people on the board and help them to sell their products, which also brings some economy into the region. You can see some photos also from the local shop, here from the inside of the gallery. And as I already started, we also organize some events to support the area and bring more tourists into the area. We organize every year a Christmas market. Here you can see some photos. We suggest this is a good, successful event. During this event, we also try to be also as digital as possible. So it's good to use now the social media, create some videos in advance to bring some more people, regular update on the social media, using some cameras, videos. And also regarding that, we work together with the district of Banská Bystrica, the municipality, where they also help us to support this idea, and then we can share on their networks, on our networks, when some event ongoing. Here you can see some of our participants, the local people. Here you can see some more photos from the area. Photos from workshops. and our visits. So also we suggested we want to also support the tourism in the area. It's also very important to work with the journalists. And this can be also a case how to work with them, how to create a good quality videos, good quality posts, or use some digital app. In that, so it's good to share the experiences. So thank you for your time and looking forward for the project. Thank you. If anyone else, feel free to ask.
Jakub, thank you very much. No, not at the moment. So then I give the floor again to Romania. Propac, please introduce your organization.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andra. I'm from Romania and I'm replacing Tibi, as I'm sure that you've met in the previous meeting. I represent an NGO based in Brașov, in the middle of the country in Transylvania, which is called ProPark Foundation for Protected Areas. And unfortunately, I don't have a presentation, so I will talk freely and maybe show you some graphics because we're in the current phase of redoing our strategy and all our rebranding and everything, if it's fine by you. I will just share a bit.
Yeah, sure, but maybe then you can send us some kind of presentation just to add to the information to this activity when you have it later. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, for sure.
Thank you.
Let me just share. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes, we see it, yes.
So ProPark is an NGO that was established in 2008 with the help and support of WWF Romania and MAVA Foundation. We are an environmental NGO, and the main goal of our NGO is to build capacity for the protected area staff in Romania in order for them to be more aware on how to manage the protected areas inside the country. These initiatives or the establishment of our NGO was done in 2008. It was right after we joined the EU in 2007, based on the simple fact that after joining the EU, we had to, from 7% of the country that was established as a protected area, we had to raise up to 25% of the country with Natura 2000 sites and national parks, nature parks. You can imagine a big part of the country being overnight established as a protected area that didn't have teams of managers that knew how to manage a quarter of the country. So basically, this is the main reason that our NGO was established. We are the main providers of capacity building programs inside the country. This is a service that is not being done by the state. It's a voluntary service that we do as an NGO. And we've been doing this since 2008 onwards. Our organization focuses on at an individual level, at the organizational level, and at the state level. So we act through all these sectors, mainly through trainings, through mentoring activities that we do together with the parks, and not only. We do management plans for protected areas inside Romania. And we do also environmental education. We work closely with a lot of schools and a lot of universities inside the country. We also do environmental and awareness activities. We organize festivals and sports competitions and protected area galas for all the professionals inside our countries. So mainly, I think, in a nutshell, you could say that we are the main catalyzers for all kinds of different stakeholders inside the country that work together for sustainable development, let's say, through protected areas. You have here some figures. I don't think it's needed to go through all of them. But here you can see a map of the country. We are based here, right in the middle. The town is called Brașov, but you can see that all the dotted lines that you see on this map is places that we've worked and with protected area staff, mainly building capacities for them. We do this on multiple type of trainings, starting from forestry to agriculture, to water, to wildlife management, to environmental education, to community outreach activities, all the pillars that a protected area should have inside their structure and inside it to have competencies for the people. We also developed for the national state the curricula, the necessary curricula that has to be installed as a background material for all these occupancies. We introduced the ranger occupancy at a national level that wasn't done before. We also work with, we also introduced the protected area specialist as an occupation inside the country. And currently we're working at an international level, and we're coordinating this at an international level to develop all the competencies for the ranger occupation. This we're doing with WWF International in Singapore. Apart from this, we also, as I said, we also do management plans, technical plans that protected areas should have in order to put in place the measures that they have to do for biodiversity. These are some dots also across the country. The orange ones, let's say, are for the management plans that we have inside the country. The green ones, there are technical competitions that we do in order to build capacity also for local communities, for protected area staff, and for participants or for tourists that go inside a protected area to have a competition. So we developed a new kind of competition that puts into place all these actors and all these different kinds of stakeholders, all the time having in mind natural values and cultural values. And apart from that, all the red dots you can see are educational activities that we did inside the countries, mainly, let's say, junior ranger camps or going inside schools and working with kids. We do also training for teachers on environmental education for them to do it onwards inside their schools. And yeah, that's it. And at an international level, we worked with several countries inside Europe and also with the Northern Africa, where we also try to develop occupancies for different kinds of occupations for protected areas. We do training needs assessments, we do government lobby, let's say, and a lot of management plans and trainings. But this is just, let's just say, in a nutshell. And apart from that, we're also members in order to come closer with the project and its goal or its initiatives. We are also members in an association that is called the Ecotourism Association in Romania, where we developed 10 ecotourism destinations that put obviously in focus sustainable tourism with hand in hand with protected areas. We have these destinations. Some of them are also recognized by the state. This is a voluntary scheme that the state, let's say, the destinations do. And inside it, we have certification schemes and principles that, let's say, different kinds of actors should put in place in order to reach the goal of the sustainable destination. But I can talk more about it when we reach that point and it makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have one question, because you are doing a lot of different things. How many people are you doing all this work?
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. We're 9 persons.
Okay.
I think I have been for 10 years in these organizations from roughly the beginning, let's say. We've never went above 10 people, so roughly 9 or 10, depends on the year, let's say. We're an organization that is project-based. We don't have money from the state. We write projects, and so far, so good, let's say.
Thank you very much. Are there other questions? No, so then it's your floor, Ernestina.
I'm trying to load up my presentation, but I don't know if I'm able, because Juan Luis is the one who...
Ernestine, okay, because I have your presentation. If you want, I can share it for you, Ernestine?
That would be great. I would be really grateful for that.
Okay.
Because as you can see, I'm not extremely successful.
Ernestine, maybe you can stop the presentation on the top of your screen. There should be a red light. It says stop something
okay.
like this. Yeah, correct. You can share it.
And then you can say me, okay, that's right. Can you see it?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Ernestine, and I think ProPark is the only organization that doesn't know our our place. The rest of the organizations have met us in different projects. So I'll try to be as short as possible. Fundación Monte Mediterráneo is a private foundation founded in 1994. It owns a farm of 700 hectares in the south of Spain. And the different areas that I would just want to present the different areas that we work with, because we have shared many projects with most of the partners in this project already, Jakob, Veronica, and Judith and Thesefor. So our basis, of course, is the farm. It's an organic farm from the beginning on. And you can see the different activities, the different livestock types we have, then our idea of sustainability, of commercializing our own products, biodiversity, training, projects, rural development. So the next slide is about pigs. As you can see, we have special species of pigs. Can you give the next slide, please, Judith? Okay, this is the pigs, as you can see. I love them, but also they are very good, give very good meat, and the famous ham that we have here in southern Spain, which these give after the curing. This is also indigenous breed of cattle. We don't have any industrial breeds. We only have indigenous breeds, autochthonous breeds, because we understand that indigenous breeds and biodiversity production are extremely linked. Then we have the sheep, I think is the next slide, right?
We see the sheep, yeah.
Okay, I can't see it. That's why I'm.
Yes, we see
the
sheep.
Okay, great. No, I'm far away from you, so it takes a little longer to get to the south of Spain. Okay, there you can see our sheep, merino sheep. You might know a merino wool. It's a very precious wool. It's the wool that made Spain rich 500 years ago or 700 years ago, and we are trying to recover this value and this added value to the sheep, and also to an activity, an ancient activity that's called transhumance, that most of you will know, especially Romania and Slovakia are very familiar with it, because they have it in their countries too, that there is herds, usually sheep herds, that move depending on the time of the year with their shepherds to different areas. Okay, then next slide is...
We see the donkeys.
The donkeys.
Okay, yeah, then the donkeys. This is also a kind of recovering old traditions. You know, donkeys was the cars for poor people in former times. They're a protected species, and we breed this pure Andalusian donkey. And we try to give them, especially for tourism and for education, some job to do. For the rest of it, it's just a conservation idea. But the sound of the donkeys, I don't know how you call this in English. In Spanish is rebuznar. I don't know what that would be in English. I don't even know what it is in German. So is very typical for the DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS, for the agro ecosystem that we have here. Okay, the next slide should be chicken or something. Is that possible?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, chicken is chicken for us is somehow representative for the circuit economy that we try to practice on the farm, which means we are not 100% autonomous, of course, that is impossible, but we try to reuse any kind of leftovers, rests, etc., etc. Here you can see that they eat the leftovers from the kitchen, the potato peel, rest of fruit, etc., and also, of course, from the horticulture garden, which we have quite a big one. So we try to give back to parts of the farms that we take from a different part from the farm to have a circuit economy, so to say. Okay. The next slide is, I don't know it by heart, I'm sorry. Okay, this is our idea of commercializing our own products. There you can see a package of the very special ham that I hope everybody of you can try at some point when you come to our place. And we have a special direct commercializing system for meat and ham products, pig products. Okay.
Now we see the quark production.
Okay, this is something very special for us. You know that the bark of the trees is from the cork trees is the cork. It is very special because it only exists in Spain, in Portugal, a little bit in the south of France, and a very little bit in Italy. So it's quite a unique product. And we do it still in a very traditional way. As you can see, the people climbing on the trees, and the transport is with mules. We don't, because the area is not, of course, the access is not possible with cars most of the time. And this is one of the very important incomes here, and also is part of the putting into value products from the DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS, from this agro ecosystem. Okay. Here you have some biodiversity ideas. Okay. The peony is this wonderful flower that the flower that we have over there, and a bee. We also produce honey. So we try to really use all the resources we can find on the farm. On the right-hand side, you can see a beetle that is really transporting a perfect ball of shit, to be clear, but also with seeds, etc. And this is very important here to maintain the biodiversity, sorry, because the here it is dry, and the excrements of the cows especially occupy quite a big surface during the year. And if we didn't have these beetles to undo the excrements, which in your countries usually the rain does, or the snow or whatever, but we don't have that here. So these beetles are very, very important. And this is also the connection to the indigenous breeds, because if people breed, for example, in cattle intensive industrial breeds, then they give them very strong medication to get rid of the parasites inside the intestinal parasites. Okay, but of course, part of these of this medication ends up in the excrements. The beetles eat the excrements or use the excrements, and that's how they die. So even though it's only a very small animal, it is very important. And indigenous breeds are very related. This is one example of relationship between indigenous breeds and biodiversity. Then you can see another nice beetle below. He's the one who kills our trees, because to develop, he or she, it lives for 2 years in a tree. and making kind of a subway system, eating up the wood, and then comes out. It's a beautiful animal, but it's very harmful to the trees. In the center above, you can see
Do you know the name of this beetle, of this pest? Leptoglossus or no?
No, Cerambyx.
Cerambyx.
Okay.
Cerambyx is the Latin name, so that's probably what everybody would understand. Okay, then up in the middle, you can see the main threat for the DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS, which is a fungus called Phytophthora cinnamomi. It is a giant take water and then they dry out and die. This is a huge threat. And for us, it's one of our main targets or objectives in our work to defend the DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS from disappearing, because the DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS is the last barrier, ecologically speaking, is the last barrier to the desert. It's the last agro-ecosystem that exists. The next one would be desert. So for whole Europe is very important. Of course, political authorities don't recognize that, don't pay for it, but that's a fact, okay? Then below you see probably the most attractive biodiversity project, which is our vulture place. We have a huge vulture restaurant where we deposit dead animals from hunting, leftovers, etc. In the middle, you see a black vulture. He's extremely endangered. But you can see on the left-hand side that our restaurant is very attractive. Sometimes we have up to 700 or 800 vultures at a time on this place. It's also very attractive for tourism, of course. All kind of biodiversity is very attractive. This is our training center here, is where we receive groups for all kinds of training. Sometimes it's Erasmus plus KA1 project, mobility project, but also from the KA2 programs. Most of you have participated in workshops that we've realized there. And we also organize training for ourselves, for local or regional people, anything that has to do with sustainability or with women in rural areas, etc., anything that is related to that. Here you can see different types of activities that we do with the groups. The horticulture, below you can see the horticulture garden with Swiss chard between nettle, so we don't have these insects that eat up our Swiss chard. And also, of course, compost, etc. Then here we have our experience in training in all kinds of programs, European programs, national programs, and regional programs that we apply for, and then we realize them. This is different projects that we are in now. We are pilot farm in 3 live projects. Agro inclusion is a project also with Jakub, and EU for Shepherds with Thesefor. These are former projects, just some examples, training programs for sustainable training for teachers or for students. And here you can see our activities in rural development. Of course, it is like always trying to be economically, ecologically, and socially or culturally interesting. We do this big transhumans project every year. And in these transhumans project, we try to develop touristic activities, because as you all know, that sheep keeping and shepherding is economically not very interesting. Ecologically, it's extremely interesting and important. So we try to find additional activities to make transhumans more attractive and give some more income to it. Here you can see one of our, on the left side, you can see one of our houses. We have four small houses on the farmland that we rent out for tourism, sometimes just for weekends, sometimes for people who want to make a retreat, if it's one of the very, very hidden houses. On the right-hand side, you could see touristic activities when we change the herds in the mountains. This is in Castilla León in the north, close to where Judith is, and Miriam and where's the other person? Oh, he left. Okay, this is close to León, and there you can clearly distinguish who the tourist is and who the shepherds are. This is one of our main targets, to use tourism to fight depopulation, which is the main problem in Castilla León in the north. Castilla León is the most endangered area in Europe of depopulation. So tourism is an extremely important asset.
Ernestina, thank you very much. We've already been there, and I don't know, for those
Thank you, Veronica. I'm going to share the presentation. I'm trying to go quick because I'm a little out of time. Okay. So CESEFOR is a non-profit private foundation. It was set up in 2003, and it provides services for the promotion of forestry and forest-based industries with a national and international experience. We are focused on the regional development and competitiveness and sustainability of the forestry industries that use regional forest resources, but also we are at different levels, from local to international levels, to bring together a range of different services. Here we have, we can see the services we provide. For example, we provide technology, IT, and innovation. We also do research. We do cooperation and rural development. We also do sustainable forestry management. We also have a department of promotion and marketing, also a department of wood technology. And of course, we do natural resource conservation and knowledge management and communication. Mainly, we also participate in a lot of projects, European projects, also local projects, but also European projects. We have participated in several European projects in the last 10 years. For example, in 6 Horizon Europe 2020, 9 Interreg, 7 LIFE projects, or for example, 6 Erasmus Plus projects. Regarding the sustainable forestry management, we contribute to the sustainable redevelopment of the forestry sector, focusing on the generation of employment and added value. For example, we participate in the certification of the forest with these certification systems. We also try to promote forest products through the use of pioneer but easy to use information technologies. We perform many IT projects based on open source technology to help in planning and management processes, forestry products, commercialization, renewable energies, and recreational uses. We also have a experienced professional team in wood products, innovation, and structural use. We have in our main office in Soria, we have a large laboratory of wood, and there we have a space for wood tests, and there we provide services to many companies and organizations. But we also do research in other fields of the sector, of the forestry sector, like in the conservation and management of the forest, to understand the reality of our profit. You can see there different projects in which we have been developed this research. The conservation of natural resources and the sustainability of economic activity in the forestry and environmental sector are our principles. And of course, we give great importance to the cooperation and rural development with the whole value chain of the stakeholders that play a key role in networking and cooperation projects. We think that the forestry sector has a weakness with the share of the information, which sometimes is an inadequate information. That is why we bet to work on strict information and data. With the management of some, for example, the Informa, which is a key a network of news of the sector. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Now we got a good overview about the themes and topics our partners are working in. And now let's look a step deeper.
Sorry, I would like to, because I have present Thesephour, but I know I didn't present myself immediately.
Okay, yeah.
So, sorry. I just would like to say briefly that I work in the forest management and natural resource area of Thesephour, which is not the wood area. And at the moment, I am involved in different projects and programs regarding the forest restoration, biological control of different plant pests and diseases, and some other training programs in the forest sector. Maybe Miriam can tell us a little more about her, and also Mario, who is here too.
Hi, good morning. I'm Miriam. I'm a biologist with experience in ecosystem management and restoration and wildlife conservation. I have worked a lot with wildlife, in particular with birds and insects. I'm working at Thesephour with Judith and Mario since May of last year. I work for a live project in which we study the conservation status of riparian forest habitat in 2 Spanish areas and 1 in Portugal. In addition to this, I will also work on this project with you.
Mario, could you please tell us a little
something about me or something? No. Well, I am here just as a marketing and communication technician, so I'm just here to hear something about the project, for having more information to use when in case of need. For example, you know, we are on chase to do a mini website, to do some materials. So I'm here just for that. I don't think I will very deep in the project because I have a lot of different projects. So I will be here just in case of concrete needs, but I will be on search of communication, and of course I will follow the orders or directions coming from the leader of communication of this project. That's all for my part. I don't know if you have some question or something, but it's okay from my part.
Thank you, Mario. Just to say that Mario is here because he's the head of the marketing and communication department of CESAPOR. So we thought that it was important to have this connection with, especially with ProPark and Hochschule, who are the coordinators of the communication and dissemination activity. So maybe to establish the bridge and to begin to communicate, to see, because we have some responsibilities as CESAPOR with this project in the communication part.
Yeah, it's always good to have a profi for communication and dissemination in the group. So thank you very much.
We will see it later.
Exactly.
More deeply. Thank you.
But now it's the time to go inside the project. And thank you very much, Ernestina, that you are going to explain something about it, the state of the art. And maybe Judith, you will share the presentation again, please?
Yes, let me do that.
Thank you for your support, logistic support.
No problem at all.
It's important that we are a team and working together.
Yeah, since we live on a farm, digital tools are not my specialty. Okay, so here we go. This is the you know, the the name of the project is kind of funny because we prepared it in as we always do the last days before the deadline. So at some point we just decided to put the first letters of all the aspects together, but DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS is not very practical. But anyway, I just call it DIGI-ECO because then it's briefly. So it's digital tools in ecologic, nature, farm, cultural, and gastronomic tourism in rural areas. And it's the only thing we have to produce because it's a small scale. It's not a big KA2. So the only thing we have to produce in brackets is the manual of good practice examples. Okay, this is the idea, the obligation we have in this project. Okay, the next slide. As I was involved in the preparation and the application of the project, I just wanted to tell you a little bit where we come from, you know, where we were and where we came from. We thought that digital tools in tourism are extremely important for several reasons. In the first place, it allows people with limited mobility to participate digitally. This is a big asset because rural tourism is linked to mobility, of course, and there's a lot of people who do not have or do have a limited mobility. So certain digital tools allow them to participate or to learn from nature, or if they can't go there or be there as mobile as others. In the second point, very important point, is especially from our experience in transhumance, is to ensure tourist safety and security. Why is that? Because you walk in the mountains. I mean, we are not, as in infrastructure in Spain, in rural tourism is not comparable to Austria or Switzerland. Okay, I don't know what the case in Romania is, but I guess it's more or less like in Spain, that people, some of the routes are indicated, but others aren't. So people take their little dog and they end up in a sheep herd, and the shepherd has big dogs and they bring a small dog, and then the big dogs attack the small dog, and so forth and so forth. This is just one example. Or people who are not experienced to walk in the mountains, they think, oh, this is a nice route, we'll take it, and it's a route of 7 hours, and they didn't calculate well their capacity or their ability, etc. So there are different, how should I say, threats or possibilities for people who move in the mountains. In Austria, you have the problems with cows who are in the mountains, and then they can attack somebody, etc., etc. So digital tools can be very useful for that. Another one is to control the movement, or to be able to control proper and improper use of facilities, etc. For example, CESE4 has a very nice example in that for mushroom picking. You can rent a place and say, well, there are mushrooms, so you download an application, and you being indicated an area where you can pick the mushrooms. And when you get off from this area and don't rented area, then the application screams and says, sorry, red line, you're into somebody else's mushroom area, etc. Okay, then it is very attractive for young people who might not be, where rural area might not be their first choice. Okay, I think if there is an application that shows them that digital is what Jakob mentioned before, that it helps to raise awareness. When they had this wonderful movie about this cultural activity of burning the queen of the winter, or the princess of the winter, I don't know what she's called. It's a puppet that they burn. Yeah, this is an important tool. So this is a little bit why we started, why we designed this project, and why we thought it would be important to make a project in this sense, even though tourism is probably not our main activity, but it is complementary, extremely important if we want to become sustainable and ecologically sustainable and economically. Okay, what is about this tourism? Of course, there is a growth of demand, especially after the pandemic years, because people could travel less, so they went out to the mountains. At least in Spain, it has grown quite a lot during 2020 to 2022, in these 3 years. Then it's, of course, what everybody says, an economic activity that complements income in rural areas. This is clear. Then it creates awareness and is an instrument to explain why biodiversity, what the climate change is doing, how can we improve or grow regional and seasonal food, etc., etc. This is all linked to it. And of course, it improves the CO2 footprint because we don't use so many planes, etc. What might be the problems? Okay, the tourism can enter in conflict with other activities like livestock and agriculture, as we saw before. In nature tourism or farm tourism, it's not easy. You can't have people just like that on a farm. Okay, then if we are not careful, if it is not well planned, it can overlap other traditional activities. I'm sure you know that from touristically attractive areas in your country where tourism is overwhelming, okay, and is not a complement to traditional activities anymore, but is killing them, okay? It's a possibility. This is why control and also digital tools are so important. So we can really find out how long is it sustainable ecologically or economically, and how long not. And then, of course, rural tourism always competes with economically cheaper offers in mass tourism. Okay, for example, in Germany, you have offers to fly to Mallorca, and you have this all-inclusive packages, and they are much cheaper than, for example, a trip on the farm. Okay.
Sorry, Ernestine, we have 5 minutes, okay?
Okay. Describe what to do. We already said that. Describe, manual, detect, identity, and hopefully go for a big KA2 with intellectual output. And what do we want? We want to be curious, eager to know about our partners. We want to enjoy the project. We want to cooperate as a good team, deliver good results, look into the future, and have fun together. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you
very much for the last.
Less than 5 minutes, it's okay.
Okay, I'm fine. Is there any question?
I would have one.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, because I'm new to the project and I wasn't involved in the writing, my main question is this manual supposed to target more the conflicts that tourism or mass tourism, or I don't know, people that are not aware of the local possibilities in order for them to be more informed? Or do you want to promote a new kind of tourism like ecotourism inside some, and what's the main goal of the manual?
Okay. Well, you have to take into account that this is a small scale, okay? We are not, this is not an intellectual output as it is in KA2 with intellectual outputs. The idea of this manual is to collect good practice examples. Okay, this is, and we want this to be, sorry?
Awareness raising, or just best practices between our countries on rural tourism?
No, on digital tools in rural tourism. Which digital tools exist, and what's the result? Okay.
Maybe I could, can I talk?
At the most.
Just a little brief to say, because Ernestine was the one, together with Roberto, I think, who wrote the proposal, but as I have read it and studied, as I can see, we need to know, to study first what is going on in our countries regarding the rural tourism and the digital tools in rural tourism. So first we need to identify these scenarios, identify how is the rural tourism, how is the framework of all our countries, and what is how it is the digital tools developed in this sector, and then we can go moving forward. Okay, so maybe the first to do with this small project is to analyze the situation in the sector. Am I right, Ernestine?
Yes, of course, we have to know the sector. This is the idea, present the sector. And in this manual, but I think that was the question, Andra's question, is to just collect good practice examples, okay? And if we can identify deficiencies, by the way, when we analyze the sector, we will immediately see good practice examples, and we will be able to define the deficiencies, and these deficiencies and the good practice examples will be the basis for the KA2 with intellectual output. And in this project, then we can develop solutions, etc., etc. But this is a small scale. This doesn't give for more, you know, it's a very small project. Okay.
Thank you for the input.
What I really liked, Ernestine, was the slide where you showed the different possibilities of the use of digital tools. And I think it's important that we have a look in the analysis of the situation, that we look which possibilities we use. For example, digital tools for attracting young people to go out, to be outside in the countryside, in neglected areas, something like this, or tools for people with disabilities. And I think there we should make a kind of analysis to see what different parts of the digitalization are used in this sustainable tourism, this rural tourism.
Yeah, it's just this project just is to see what there is.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
my first slide was the motivation. Why do we think important? And these are the different categories, to say somehow. But this project is just to see what there is. Probably in one country there's no digital tools to attract young people, and in other countries there is a lot for people with limited mobility. So this is just to see what there is, and then really have a nice. I think it's a very good basis for a new project. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, we are coming to the next point. To start the project, it's also important. Now we spoke about the objectives, about what we want, what's the aim of the project. But let's look deeper inside about the concrete work plan. Judith, I think you are going to start.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, this project is built in the main of the 6 activities. We just need to cover these 6 activities to accomplish with the aim of the project. So first activity we are going through today with the kickoff meeting, and then we will have the first workshop, which will be held in Romania from the 3rd of July to the 4th, these 2 days. It will be leading by Lisov Museum. So Jakub is going to be the leading partner, but we will see, maybe better with the next project. Yes. Yeah, you can interrupt me.
Sorry, is this period that you selected from the 3rd and 4th of July, is it possible to move it? Or
well,
is it?
I think if all of us are agree, because this is in the proposal, but I don't know, maybe we can justify the if there's no possibility to do this at these dates, and we all agree to move, maybe we can move.
Okay, the only thing is that in the same week we have a huge festival that we have to organize, and it's a huge involvement for all our team, and it's just 2 days after this meeting that should take place. If it's possible to move.
For me, would be also better if possible to move it a bit. It's maybe second half of July.
Okay.
If possible.
Okay.
If we move it, maybe we can fix a new date for planning.
I think we can even move it a little further, because depending on what information we want to be taken to this first workshop, I think if we move it, for example, to September, then everybody could probably already bring. No, September impossible.
It's too long, because we need to stop to the dates more or less, not too much out of them. So maybe let me go. Well, okay. We can just say briefly that we have to do this workshop first in Romania, then the second workshop in Spain. The 4th activity is the design of the manual, which will be the results of the work that we have done in the workshops. And then we have the activity of the communication and dissemination of the project and the project management, okay? So we are going to go deeper in the first workshop and the other activities, but first I would like to say briefly that this, to assure that this project going to work properly, we have a workshop. Workflow. We have 6 activities, and we have different leaders of these activities. So, and inside each of activities, we also have some results. So we have also coordinators of the results. So at the first part, we have all partners. We all need to be all involved in the development of all activities and all the results, but we have some result coordinators, and then we have some activity leaders, and then we have the project coordinator, which is TC4. So each activity leader partner will be in charge of their own activity. And it will be their responsibility to achieve the deliverables developed by the whole consortium, okay? And each activity leader partner shall report to TC4 on the progress of the activity of deliverables developed in each of the activities. So, are you all understand that? Okay. So, well, that's the first activity, which is the kickoff meeting.
Judith, maybe we can go back, because we had the timetable before, and I think if we want to change the date, it would be good to do it now and to fix the dates, because if we do it in the summertime, everybody of us will be on holiday some weeks, and now we can look when we can go for holidays, but when we have booked, it's not possible to change it anymore.
Yeah,
so I would say let's fix the new dates to be sure that all of us can be there in Romania.
Okay, yeah. This is the first workshop, which is this is the date of the first workshop establishing the proposal, but we can change if we all agree. So maybe okay, so
what would be a good time?
You were saying the second week, in the week of the 10th of July, or it is too?
About from 17 to 18 of July.
17 to 18. Okay.
For me, it's fine.
It's fine, yes.
What about the Romanian partner?
We can't hear you.
It's fine with me also.
It's fine. So maybe we can put the
Okay.
The 17th and 18th.
Yes. Thank you.
So that means that the Sunday is going to be the travel day, and the workshop will be on Monday and Tuesday. That's correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you prefer to put the travel day on Monday? I don't know.
No, it's fine with me.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Only
Like
to,
that?
yeah.
Okay. So we have a new date. And we will change it here too.
Perfect. And where is it going to be? In which city? Do you already know it?
Not yet, but I can consult with you in order to know exactly which proper place should it be in a, let's say, study case, let's say, area, like in a rural area, and I can present some scenarios, or would it be better to be in a big city? But I think we can discuss together.
No.
Okay. I just would like to say that
I don't.
for this for this workshop, we have this budget. The important thing is that ProPark is going to be the organization that organizes the place where we are going to stay, and the place where the gathering and so on. And for that you have 5,000 euros. So maybe you can think about it and where you want to establish that.
Okay, so basically out of these 5,000 euros, you will have to tell me for how many persons, or more or less, let's say 10, whatever. And if we have to cover the accommodation, probably
you have to cover the accommodation and the catering and all everything that is going to be there for the diets and so on. We are going to be 2 from each. At the beginning, maybe we need to we will tell you later, but in the proposal is that we are 2 from each of these of our organizations. People.
And do you cover your own travel costs? Okay, also internally in Romania. Okay.
Ernestine?
Yeah, just a couple of things. In the first place, I think we should always be in rural areas. If we have a project in rural areas or rural tourism, I don't think it makes sense to be in a big city. And we can take the opportunity to visit an example, for example, of rural tourism. And the second question was, is it possible to, in this small scale, this you would have to look up in the contract, is it possible to take stakeholders to, if every organization has 2 places, is there the possibility in the small scale projects to have stakeholders and to bring, for example, 1, which usually is a way to multiply the activity?
Okay, let me read what is in the proposal. Who is going to benefit from the results? No, sorry. What the proposal is? I'm going to read it because here maybe I can answer you. Technicians from the partners organizations of the project will take part in this activity. At least 2 technicians per organization. At least 1 initiative or expert on the proposed themes will also participate. So maybe, yes, you can take 1 technician from your organization and 1 stakeholder.
Yeah, it's something. It is something that you have to check with your national agency, because this is different from country to country. Sometimes, for example, in LTTs or in other trainings, the person has to be from the organization. In others, it has to be from an organization linked to the partners organization. And in some projects, it doesn't make any difference. Sometimes you can take anybody, you know, but this you have to check with a national agency. It would just be interesting to know, so we can choose the person that most effect would have for the project. I also wanted to mention that you did, I mean, CESEFOR and Fundación Monte Mediterráneo, we have another Romanian partner in a different project. It's called EU for Shepherds. And we will have, end of June, we will have a workshop and we will have a press conference. So at this, you know, probably Agromro, Andra.
Agromro?
Dana. Agromro, Dana. Yeah, she's responsible for this workshop. So we would give you the opportunity there to present this project. Okay, there will be a press conference, and since networking is very important in European projects, when we are there with EU for Shepherds, then it would, Veronica is also on the project, so we more or less the same people. But so it's nice to have a small presentation in this for this opportunity, just as a multiplier.
Okay, yes, great. As Ernestine said, it's we need to link, to cooperate with other projects, and this is a very good opportunity. I'm going to ask this doubt you had. Maybe it's not a problem because we don't have to justify, like economic justified. We don't have to present invoices and so on. Just the way to justify this project is by reports and to have a good result and a good manual. But I will ask and I will tell you.
Judith, and I think it's important to check if there are really 2 persons or if there are 3 persons, because in the proposal it's written that there should be at least 2 technicians per organization, and additionally at least 1 expert. So I'm not sure if the expert is part of these 2 of our organization.
Right.
Okay.
This is what we thought we could do.
Okay.
Depending on the topic of the workshop, so that we would be free to choose. But anyway, just ask. Usually in these small, in the small scales, usually it's not so difficult because, as Judith said, we don't have to say who traveled. We don't have to, because it's a lump sum system. Okay. But yeah, just to make sure not to have bad surprises.
And it's
in
be
the
sure
end,
that there should be 2 or 3 of us.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we will. I will ask and I will go back to you. Yeah. Okay. So the first, coming back just a little to this kickoff meeting, we just have to have the results of the recording. All the information material collected from all of you, like the presentation. So please, Jakub and Ari, could you please send me, and also Veronica, because I don't have your presentation, could you send us your presentation to put it together? And then we need to have this report in forms of minutes, which corresponds to Hochschule. And that's all. It's brief. We have this budget for this meeting, and then we can go through the first workshop, which name is Current and Potential Rural Tourism linked to agricultural and forestry activities. So in this workshop, what we want to achieve is to analyze the profile of the rural, cultural and ecological sustainable tourism demanders, as well as the different profiles that develop in each project partner country. So we need to focus here in the analyzing of the framework and the situation of the rural tourism. We are going to have some results. Well, the activity leader, even though it's going to be held in Romania, the activity leader is Jakub, is Lisop Museum. So maybe you need to organize this workshop, but the technical part, not the things regarding the accommodation and so on. This is going to be organized by ProPark. This is why we have this budget here. but list of museum is going to be responsible of the results, the whole results of this activity, okay? And then we have the result coordinators, because here we have these, we need to achieve these results. In the first place, we need to have at the end of the workshop a report of the analysis and identification of the agricultural, livestock and forestry economic activities which develop rural tourism initiatives or are potential for development. To achieve this result, maybe we need to have a previous identification and a previous research of each of the partners before in each of our countries. So we need to have some to do some workshop, the homework before, okay? But this is something that you need to decide how to do this, Jacob, okay? We can barely hear you, but okay. And then we have time to think about it, to achieve this report and how we are going to achieve it, and how and what previous homework we need to do. And then we also analysis of the activity and report on barriers of the development of the activity. So we need to identify these debilities and barriers of the rural tourism. Then we also have we need to have a report on the analysis of the potential profile of tourists linked to agricultural, livestock and forestry activities. Also a summary or compilation of training courses related to rural tourism. And at least we need to identify new organizations with the capacity or to organize events. So here you can see the result coordinator of these activities, of the results and the results we need to achieve with this workshop at the end of the workshop, okay? Before this workshop, we are going to have one follow-up meeting. So maybe we can also resolve doubts, and of course we are going to be in contact anytime to resolve your doubts. This is the total budget, and then we will have this second workshop, which name is Data Collection of Tools, Digital Tools and Good Practices about Rural Tourism. This is going to be held in Spain, and the date in the proposal is the 4th and the 5th of March of the next year. Okay, is that date fits with you? Okay, so we can maintain the date. Yeah. Okay, and in this
just a question. The idea, the initial idea was, when we made the application, was to do it here on the farm. Okay, so because it's very rural here. So probably if you think we should go on with this, or if you change mind and would prefer to do it in the north, I would have to know.
Very good. I think it's perfect to do there in your place, Ernestine.
Okay.
I think it's nice to come to your farm.
Yeah.
That's the ideal example for rural tourism.
So
yeah, I'm afraid so.
Santa Olaya, hola. Yeah, no, Olaya. It's like that? No, Santa Olaya.
No, con ella, con dos L's. Ella,
And,
sí. Del Cala. Del Cala.
okay, perfect. And here, once we have had the rural tourism scenario identified in the previous workshop, here what we want to achieve is to identify the digital tools of this sector. And for this, we want to identify these practices, best practices and tools for the development of the rural tourism activities and its potential, and also create a network of digital tool developers. And the results are here is that we want to have a report of successful initiatives and good practices of tourism associated with agricultural and livestock activities. And then we want to have a network of developers of digital tools in the sector, and also a network of initiatives and good practices. Also, we need to have a report on training needs and the need for KA2 with intellectual outputs, and at the identification of needs in digitalization of activity groups, initiatives, and good practices. So as you can see here in this workshop, we focus more in the digital tools in the rural tourism. As in the first workshop, we focus more in the rural tourism itself, in developing and in knowing the framework or the scenario of this sector. Okay, the budget is the same.
Can you just correct, please, the word digitalization? There is just an error.
Where's the error?
Digitization.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Digital. Okay. Please say.
LI.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
I think it's correct also the other way, but I'm not sure. It's okay.
Well, dictionary says no, so.
Okay. No
because
problem.
I guess you have the American English, so that it could be S or Z. This is the difference.
Okay. Okay.
That's why it's still red.
Yeah. Because, but it doesn't matter.
No.
And the budget here is the same as the other workshop, but here we have all Fundación Monte Mediterráneo with the budget for the accommodation and the catering and so on. So that's perfect that it's going to be held in your place, Ernestine. Then we have the design and realization of the manual, which is the activity 4. This is going to be the sum up of all our work in the workshops and in homework in previously. And here we need to take together and to organize well to have this value manual, this very manual or guide that is going to serve as a good practice manual among other things, because this manual will contain in the summary and cite and examples of existing digital tools, so they can be used in vocational and educational training, as well as for trainers and learners. And here we have the result coordination coordinator as well as the activity leader is going to be Fundación Monte Mediterráneo, and this organization is going to be in charge of the compilation of all the information for the manual. And CESE4, we are going to be in charge of the layout of the manual in the digital format. Ernestine, I think you have the hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to make a suggestion for all the inputs that the partners that we have to develop, that the lead the activity leader, should work with templates. I think this is the best way to have a common structure in what we what the information we want, so that the activity leader just demands with a template to the partners. It's just a suggestion to make it easier later to put it together. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's right. I think I totally agree that we need, and that's because we need to put it in common and to have all the same format. So it needs to be done by a template. So all of the activity leaders, yeah, this is a template for the results. Okay. Yeah, Mario.
Yeah, so speaking about templates, I don't know if Ernestine has any kind of idea or any, because we need to understand which kind of material we need to take into account for doing the layout. So I guess maybe Ernestine, you have any idea of materials such as graphics, or I don't know, I don't have any idea of about the content. So if you can advance that, we can advance a kind of template, and later we can facilitate the layout. So
well, the templates are different for each topic. You know, it's not the same template for all the activities. Each activity may have a different template. But if you want to have a look at CESE4 is partner in, or is lead partner, sorry, in EU for Shepherds. This is a project where we are in common, and there we have developed several templates. So you just get an idea of what.
I think
okay, so I will take
referring to is that maybe you can correct me if I misunderstand. Is that we need like a guide to complete or to lay out this digital format. I mean, to stick to a guide to fill in all.
I think it's something more simple. It's just to align diverse content from each partner, and later that makes easier to make the layout. If not, everyone do something different, and later we have a bigger task. So
yeah.
Well, I will be in contact with Ernestine. I have a look to the other project, and we will speak about that if you don't have any inconvenience, Ernestine, just to align this
Of
task.
course not. No. Of course, I'll be happy to do that. But the structure of the manual of the template is different from activity to activity, you know. But just to give you an example, my first or second slide was about the different reasons or uses for digital tools in tourism. You know, this, for example, would be one structure in a template. What kind of digital tools do exist in your country for awareness, for mobility, limited mobility, for blah, blah, blah. And then you just fill it in and that's it. Since we don't have a logo in this project, since it's also a small scale, we just it's like a template, a table, so everybody fills in, and then it makes it easy to put it all together. Okay, but have a look at the templates of EU for Shepherds, then you will immediately understand.
Yeah, because well, I think I am understanding better now. But I think, of course, but it's not a template related with the manual. It's just a general template for all the material you produce during the project. And later, well,
For
I will
each
have a look.
activity.
Yeah.
For each activity, so that each activity has its own template. The information is structured, and all the information of all partners has the same structure. Since later we have to fusion it, then okay.
It's mainly
Thank you for
within the activity, so that the activity leader has it easy to summarize it, because if you get informations in a lot of different ways, it's hard to combine the different countries.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we can move to the communication and dissemination of the project.
I will explain or say about some words about the communication and dissemination. The activity leader is ProPark, but we from Hochschule are going to assist. And of course, the time where it should be done is during the whole period of the project. So that means that we already can start with the dissemination and communication. And the aim is to implement, share, and promote the result of the project and its impact. And therefore, we should think on the one hand to the local, regional level, and on the other side, we should speak and think about our networks of all the partners in our organization. So that means that ProPark is responsible for the coordination, and CESE4 prepare posters and images of the project for all the activities, for all the events we plan. And on the other side, there is planned that the project will be implemented at the website of CESE4. So that means we don't...
Sorry,
yeah?
We have had a little change. The other day we had to further dissemination, and also which is better for us, of course, as the project. Image of the project?
That's a very good question, Judith. But we need to have a look to our internal schedule, and I don't have right now an answer, but I think we can do an quickly image, but to do, for example, a manual, the templates, and of course the mini website, I think it can take 2 months or at least 1/2 and a month or something like that, because we need to take into account other department, which is technology department. So more or less 2 months, about 2 months. Okay.
I think that's great.
Can I make a suggestion? It doesn't make any sense to do any communication to anybody if there is no website, you know? So is there a chance, for example, to have, because the templates, etc., that is not urgent, you know? But for example, to have a logo, have a website, and upload in the website the presentation of all the partners, and a small a photo from the kickoff meeting, so that we can in our social media say we have started a new project, because this project officially started in September. So it is urgent to do a communication because we are in January, okay? But we don't need any of the other templates, nothing of that. We just need one simple logo for DIGI-ECONAFACUGAS or whatever it is, and then put up what we have. We don't have to write any article or anything, just present the partners and the news about the first kickoff meeting, and that's it. Because it is very difficult to explain to European or to the national agency that if the project started in September, that in January there is no communication at all. So if the first communication will be in March, it is definitely too late.
Yeah. And in any case, I think as a first step, we can open a space in CSS4 Web as a project. So just in order to have some channel to communicate or something to have a look to the project, because if we make a website, we need to some clear steps. We can't work. We start now and then we do a reflection, or we think about the content of the web. So I think we need to be hygienic doing the website. So to avoid that, I think we can open in a CSS4 Web just a space as a project to show Ernestine has said we have started, etc. And then we open a properly website with all the content. And this is my opinion, okay? Because if not, well, the scope of the project is not enough to start a web and then review the web, and then so we need to take into account also this scope, okay?
And
Yeah,
I could also,
great.
But we can
anything that shows that we are going, that we started and we are going, because it's only 2 years, and if the first 4 or 5 months there's nothing going on, it's very bad news for.
But I think also
so at least we will have a space in CSS4 Web as a project. We have a model, a template or something, and we will have this space to show the project has started. That's
maybe the most important or the urgent thing is the logo, just to show it in the social media, because we can also
it's
do
not
that.
only but we need to have a small strategy. That means we need to afford as a huge thing. Not if we start doing many things, finally all these many things will be independent, and it doesn't work like that. So we need to take some days just to do the corporative manual, as if you prefer calling like that, with the logo and with some comments to communicate to communicate well finally, okay? And then we can have a tactic option. We can open this space in CSS4 Web, and then in in 1 or 2 months we will have the website. Okay, it takes time. You need to understand that it takes time, because you need to understand the content, the menu, the things you want to show in the web. It's not only an space, an empty space, and then we start adding content. No, it doesn't work like that. We need to understand the activities, the goals we have related with dissemination, with communication. So we can create a clear navigation and a clear flows. I don't know how to say that in English. Well, the way the users navigate. So we need to do that.
It's a flow.
The flow.
Mario, it's
Thank
the
you,
flow.
Ernestine.
The flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mario. I think this is a good idea. I think we can have, so this will also give us the possibility to make another news. For example, on our website, we will make one news now in a week or 10 days when we have a logo and the space at the CEFOR, and we have had the first kickoff meeting. We can have pictures from the first kickoff meeting, and that's it. And then after 2 months, we have another news and say, now we have our website, please visit us, and blah, blah, blah. So it's no problem if we do it in 2 steps, but we need to produce something. You know, if we start a project in September, we can't be silent for 5 months. This is
regarding
no good.
The expected results, which is going to be presented by Veronica, but are only this, and as long as we achieve this, we are okay. Okay, but maybe
it's not that we are okay or not. If we want a KA2, okay is not enough. You know what I mean?
No, but
if we want to go for a KA2,
of course, I'm totally agree with you, but we don't need to do this hurry. I mean, if we are not prepared to do this right now, we can wait to do it properly. I mean, it's not just to post without sense. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense to post without sense. So maybe we can, what I just said before is that what we are going to achieve the expected results because it's not so high expected results. So maybe let's do that properly. And Mario is the person appropriate for do that. And if he said that we need to wait and do that in that way, I think is better to do that way. Okay.
What do you think? Because we have a follow-up meeting.
I'm not.
Ernestina?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with Mario. I'm just saying that the 2 steps I think are okay, so that we have a first thing to mention on our websites, which is this kickoff and the logo. And a couple of months later, we have the opening of the website. So this is all things we can communicate in the social media. It's always good to have something, bits and pieces, not just one big news in every 6 months, you know?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. So that means that we will get the logo in 1, 2, 3 weeks, and after this we will go on. But to look on the time, we have some more activities within this project, and that means that of course we have social media, and then there will be some dissemination meetings and some press releases. So that means that at least until the end of the project, we have to have 7 press releases. So that's the question to you. Whenever there's a workshop, please contact the local press. Please contact some different magazines so that we can make sure that we have enough written papers. And then it said that at least 20 tweets or posts will be sent for each partner. I think that's quite a big amount of number, and we should start now that we can reach these numbers anyway.
Just an idea, Veronica, we can, because we need to produce 7 press releases, and this coincides with maybe the one for each dissemination event, and also one for each workshop. And that with that we achieve the 7 press releases, and then we can have a few more if you want, just in case. But just an idea is to have one for dissemination event and one for workshop.
I think we are a bigger organization, and I'm going to have problems to have 20 posts But I will do the posts myself, and some of them made by the university colleague, because we have a dissemination plan, a social media plan, and there I think I can't manage to get 20 posts inside, but I will do the posts myself, and some of them will be done by the university college.
Okay, I think it could be also perfectly correct. I mean, or it is need to be by the partner, like the organization, or can it be also by personal accounts?
I think it's only that we have the 20 tweets for each partner, because that's written in the proposal. And then we have different dissemination meetings. The dissemination meetings are online meetings. So there will be a dissemination event in Spain and Slovakia, and then one dissemination event in Romania. And then there will be a final conference by the Hochschule, by us. And this final conference will be to get ideas to work on what's going on. So as a preparation for the KA2 project, for the next project, for the bigger project. But I couldn't find any numbers within the proposal, how many participants must be within the dissemination meetings. So I think we are free, as it is a small scale project. Do you have more information about this, Judith?
No, I have the information in the proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think we should reach it as much as possible, but we don't have fixed numbers for the dissemination events. And on the next slide, you can see the amount of money we get for every part. That means CSF4 is the biggest amount, as you are responsible for the development of logo, website, and so on. And then, yeah, you see the amounts each project partner gets.
Okay, so thank you, Veronica. We can go to the next and last activity, which is the project management, which activity leader is the support, and it's going to be done during the whole project. We, as results, we need to have a document with the composition of the management body. I need to confess that I don't really know what is that. I'm just asking, but because I didn't write the proposal. Did you remember what is this, Ernestine?
Yes, this is like a management plan, the management plan of the project. If you were the manager of it's as if you are a management company, you have a management department, and this is a mini. I mean, we have to take in account that this is really a mini project,
yeah,
you know, small scale. So this is also, I wanted to say to Mario, the website will have probably 4 or 5 chapters and that's it, you know. It's very small and very discreet, to say. The management body is, who are the composition of the management body is first in your company, who is responsible for what, who manages what, and then the whole project management. You know, this is like who is activity leader and this kind of thing.
Okay.
I think the presentation that you made is perfectly valuable, but just the one that you have to make from inside your company, it's a little like a diagram, or and you say the coordinator is you, Mario is this, and Miriam is responsible for that within your management job. Okay, it's not a big deal, you know. I mean, for 4,000 euros, there's not so much to do, you know.
Okay, thank you. That's right. And then we have done already an initial meeting with all the members. We had it in December, if you remember. And we need to do the 3 follow-up meetings during the project duration. And
yeah, wait a minute. The minutes for this from this first meeting. This is important, okay?
Yeah, the minutes from the first meeting I sent you. Did you remember?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that this is the important part of it,
Oh,
you know, the minutes.
Yeah. And well, the first meeting was not recorded because it was not asked in the proposal, but this one kickoff meeting is being recorded, so we will have this also. And then we will have 3 follow-up meetings and 1 final meeting, and then a final report. This is the real important thing to prove to the agency that we have done the work with the final report and the manual to have the money. And here is that we need also to have 2 new Erasmus Plus partners trained on the program. Ernestine, I don't know if you have considered these 2 Erasmus Plus partners as part of the stakeholders on the workshops, or apart from them. Maybe we can invite some people in the workshops to be participants and learners. Or what did you, because I also have some doubts regarding this result in the proposal.
As far as I remember, you know that this, whenever you finish an application, you kind of close the chapter and then wait until it is resolved. I think what I remember, what we thought is, since it is a small scale and a very simple project, that other partners or potential partners, okay, so that we would invite like stakeholders or other organizations that can be similar to our ideas, that we can invite them to any of the workshops and explain them how Erasmus Plus works, so that they can probably apply for one themselves or participate in our in the one that we are going to apply for, etc.
And can we do that in the workshop? Because I think there is not too much time to go through the Erasmus Plus. I don't know.
No, but they read the application, and this is not a training that you have to give in the workshop. It's just when they when you show them this, for example, the composition of the management body. You just show them what it is, how you did it. They can read it before a workshop, for example. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
that I can imagine if we are allowed to bring some participants to the workshops who are not part of our organization. We can, for example, I would ask partners from the platform Nature Education, and then we have some new organizations who never attended in a Erasmus meeting, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we will consider that because we need to.
But would it be possible to fix the date for the first following up meeting? Maybe it would be good.
Yeah.
As long as we are together.
I have this next slide. This is the budget, and the next you are advancing too much, Veronica. Okay. I have a proposal. Well, this for the next meetings, the first follow-up meeting. My proposal is that it needs to be done before the first workshop in probably in April or May, and I have chosen this date. What do you think about it? On the 18th of May of this year.
In Austria, it's a holiday.
Okay. Okay, so 18th of May, maybe the 17th of May. Oh, how are your agendas?
It's okay for me.
I'm fine. For me, it's okay.
It's fine with me.
Okay, everybody's agree with this date. Okay, so let's put the 17th of May. And then
And which time?
excuse me,
Which time?
the hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the morning. We will, maybe we can, okay, you want to put now the time? Okay, can be
Yeah, because then we can fix it in our timetable.
Maybe at 10 o'clock is good for all of you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. And then we have the first workshop that we have said that it is in the 17th and 18th of July. And then we need to have the second follow-up meeting in October. Maybe you want to put a date, or maybe we can let to the first workshop to establish the exact date of the second follow-up meeting. It could be better.
Maybe we can do it earlier, because
Okay.
at the first workshop
For me, it's okay. So maybe in the, what do you think? In the
Could
8th?
it be at the end? Could it be at the end? Because October is a very difficult month for us. This is when all the sheep come home from the north, and it's
Okay.
extremely busy.
So,
So could it be the week,
yeah.
the
Andra, are you also agree? Okay.
Yeah, I said it's okay, it's fine.
Okay, so that will be at 10 also. Okay, the next follow-up meeting could be in February, before the second workshop. I think February could be at the 1st of February. Oh. Or in the middle, maybe. Then what about the 14th of February?
Okay.
Do you agree?
Okay, on Valentine's, yeah.
It's a long time but well, okay. And then the second workshop will be in the beginning of March of the next year. And of course, the final meeting needs to be determined. It depends on our work, because it's the final meeting. So yeah, we will determine it later. We have a lot of time to determine it. Okay, I need to say that this is not finished. I'm in the process of creating a timeline. Soon I will be finishing it, and I will upload to the drive, which I will tell you later. Regarding the payment,
you did just a second. This is also part of the management plan, you know, the timeline.
Okay, yeah.
You know, that it's not, it doesn't have to be an extra document. You have what you presented today, then you have the timeline, and then you just explain from your organization who's responsible for what, and that's fine. This is just to see the management, the time management, money management, etc. This is
Okay.
it's not a big deal.
Okay, thank you. So regarding the payment, we, as I told you before, we just we don't need to have an economic justification in front of the Erasmus Plus agency. We just need to justify it with the reports and outcomes, which we have already seen in the activities. So invoices are not necessary this time, which is too much easier for us. We have 3 payments during the project. The first pre-funding payment needs to be done 30 days after the start of the project. I just yesterday I talked with the financial department of the CEFOR, and we haven't received yet the money. This will be the 40% of the total lump sum, which is 24,000 euros. And as soon as we will receive it, I will tell you, and I will send all of you the proper amount, I mean, the percentage of each of the partners, okay? The second pre-funding payment is in this 60 days after second payment request, which is the end of October. This is the deadline, the 31st of October of this year. And in the 2 months before that, after that, we presumably will have the other 40% of the total budget, which will be the same, 24,000 euros. And a balance payment at the end of the project will be the rest, like the 20%, like 12,000 euros at the end of the project, with the presentation of all the reports and the outcomes that we have achieved during the whole project. For the payment, needs to be done by bank transfer, and so we need the account. We as CEFOR, we need the account number of each partner. For this, we have I have created a drive, not only for this, but also for the financial information. And I want to show you a little more. Let me stop sharing this. More about the drive I have create. Let me share it. Can you see my screen, the drive?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. I will share with you this drive.
Should I put the link in the chat, Judith?
Yeah, sure. Well,
I can do it, yes.
You have it. Okay, please do that. If you can do it, please do that. We have two folders. One with the partners information. Here we have all our partners. Well, we are not there in the support because here we need the bank details. Each of the partners have two folders too. One of the folders, the mandate, which you have already signed. And the other folder is the bank details, which needs to be done. Here we need your details, the bank account and your financial details in order to have the transference to you, to do the transfers, okay? And then we have the project folder itself, which is based in the 6 activities of the project, and another folder with only the proposal itself. You can enter to different activities, for example, the kickoff meetings folder. Here we have the partners presentations. Here I only have put the Fundación Monte Mediterráneo presentation, but I will upload the support presentation, and if you prefer, you can instead of sending me, upload here directly. Okay, it could be easier.
May I ask you, are you able to enter? Because I get the information that it's not possible for me.
What, can you enter it or
no?
I asked for a permission from
Yeah.
you, so you have to accept that.
Yeah, I can, but I think. Okay, let me finish explaining that, because I think I need to give you permissions. I think, look, you are all here. Well, okay, yeah. Okay, Jacob and Miriam. Okay, and Veronica. Okay, yeah. So here I will upload also the minutes, and we have here the agenda, and I will upload here. Well, we will have all the information here in the drive. Okay. Here, for example, we have already one meeting, the initial meeting. Here you can find the minutes and the presentation, which was done in our meeting in December of the last year, and so on. I will also upload here the timeline of the project as soon as I have it finished. Okay. Can you enter now in the drive? Yeah.
It's perfect.
Okay, so let's continue with the presentation. So please, I please ask you to add to the drive your own institution presentation in this in the folder of your own of the partners presentations inside the kickoff meeting inside the project, and also your bank details, okay, in your own folder of inside the partners folders, okay. Okay, what's next? The next step is the first follow-up meeting, which will be held in the 18th of May. It was 18th, yeah. Okay. Then we will have, as Mario told us, a logo and corporative image, and probably a mini website inside the website before we have our own website. And also bank details. And as soon as I have the news that we have already been paid, I will say to you, I will send you an email, and we will proceed to the transfer. Okay. Do you have any doubts and questions?
I have one question because of the dissemination. As ProPark is responsible partner, how do we do the social media posts? Do we get it so that we have the same posts in every country and we forward it? Should we do it together so that we have the same, or is every partner responsible? Because, for example, in EU for Shepherds, I use normally the posts you use, Judith, you prepare, and then we repost it. How should we do it in this project? Maybe it's for Andra, it's important.
Well, I don't know, maybe we can decide it now, because what is in the proposal is the, I don't know, it's not in the proposal. No,
it's not written in the proposal, and I think it's for ProPark, it's important to know if they are responsible to produce the posts, to make the tests and the text and the pictures, or if it's done by you, by SSE4. And then it's written in the proposal that we should, all partners should use the same hashtags. So we have to decide which hashtags we will take.
Yeah, well, I think it has to be done by ProPark. The dissemination part, I mean, the hashtag, and yeah, because this is part of the dissemination plan of the project, I think.
So to make it clear for me, so we are responsible to do the social media posts. And
you're responsible for the whole communication and dissemination in this project.
Dissemination, but I understand that we won't do the communication manual, let's say, that includes the website, the logo, and the...
Yeah, this is done by SSE4, like all the image, corporative image development.
And also the content that goes inside the website. It's also in your responsibility, not in ProPark.
What? Excuse me?
The content of the website and all
sure.
The news and the okay.
What is inside the website, yeah, it's going to be responsible of the support.
Okay, but we are then responsible for the social media. This is the one that we have, and to make sure that by the end of the project we have these 7 press releases, 20 posts or tweets done by the whole by all the partners.
Yeah, what I think Mario is not here now, but what we can do is that you, ProPark, Andra, as ProPark, can just clarify these small details with Mario. So this is the reason that he came here at this meeting to put you in contact, so you can clarify these small details and be in contact yourself to discuss these small details of each of the communication and dissemination plan. Because you are the coordinator leader of the coordinator of this activity, but SSE4 has a lot of work with this. I mean, a lot of charting in this activity with all the image and website and so on. So maybe some activities and some responsibilities can be shared, and you need to discuss and you need to put it clear how it's going to be. How it's going to be. Okay.
Okay. But to answer the question that was previous said, it's we do need to decide whether the content of the post should be done by one organization, or we all disseminate and just use the same hashtag. I think this indeed we can decide now how we want to proceed onwards, apart from the things that I will discuss with Mario.
Yeah, okay. I think the 20 tweets needs to be done by each partner. So
yeah,
you can decide what to put in your own partner, because even though this needs to be in your own language. So this is something that each partner needs to do internally.
I also see it like that we should, I mean, the message that we want to receive, yeah, we can discuss as a whole when we have these follow-up meetings and when we have the workshops, but the content, I think we can all do it in our own language, but just use the same, I don't know, message.
Hashtag. Yeah, we can decide a hashtag, and maybe you can decide together with Mario the hashtag, or that need to be disseminate, and then it's free to write the post that you want with your own contents.
Okay.
And there's another question, because, for example, for Agro Inclusion and EU for Shepherds, we do have an own channel for this project. Are we going to create one, or should it be only a part of our own organizations?
I don't think so. I think because there is so much less money for that than in the other projects.
Okay.
I think it is not worth to create a known social media in terms of we can. I think that the proposal doesn't say anything.
We already have our network of people, our reach that we have, and it's more, I don't know, successful this way, rather than this short period to create a new page, and by the time we gather people, the project is ending, or I don't know.
Okay.
Great. So any other questions? Any other things you can add or you want to share with us? No? Okay, so thank you. And well, we can just share, I will share with you all these presentation, all the presentations, and as soon as Veronica will send us the minutes, I also will upload to the drive, or you can upload too. And yes, Ernestine, you have your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you about the funding, that in some of the projects, I don't know, because I haven't done a small scale in Spain yet, you have to ask for the payment. Once you get the response that your project is applied, then there is a template to ask for the payment, because usually the payment has to come shortly after the project has been approved. So probably you can get in touch with the national agency and see if in this project it's the case. In some projects, it's always different, you know, every call is a little bit different. Sometimes the money comes automatically, but sometimes you have to ask for it.
Okay.
You have to say, yeah, as a matter of fact, we started the project and now we want the money.
But okay, that's strange.
It's different.
Yeah, I haven't talked. I just talked with Roberto, and he told me that also the result of the poll was resolved in November, which was so late. And maybe that's the reason, but I don't know. I will tell Bea, who is the financial administration partner here in Crespo, but sure she will know about it. I mean, we have a lot of projects, so maybe.
Yeah, but this can be different from call to call, you know. is not the same for any Erasmus project, and small scale is very new. This is just a new call, so probably it's different there. We are in a small scale with Italy, and there they have to apply for it, for example.
Okay, so
for the
I will
pilot.
ask. I will ask and then I will tell you. Thank you, Ernestine. Okay, so I think that's all for now. We are going to be in touch, in contact, and I'm very glad and very enthusiastic, very glad.
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic, yeah. To know to begin this project, to get to work with you, and I hope this will be a very enrichment project. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Miriam, can you stay a little, please?
Yes.